but smart work builds the empire. This is a truth that most of us overlook in our journey towards success. From a young age, we are taught that if we work harder, if we put in more effort, if we sacrifice more, then success will eventually come. We believe that long hours, sleepless nights, and tireless dedication are the only ingredients needed to achieve our goals. And while hard work is essential, it is not the only requirement. It is like laying bricks one by one to build a house, but without a blueprint, without a strategy, without a plan, those bricks may never turn into the strong, towering structure we envision. Imagine two people starting at the same point in life, both equally determined, both ready to give their all. One person chooses to work endlessly, doing everything manually, believing that the sheer force of effort will bring results. The other, instead of just working harder, takes a step back and asks, is there a better way? Instead of pushing through blindly, they learn, they strategize, they observe, they seek mentors, they study patterns, they understand the rules of the game before they start playing. Years later, one person is exhausted, still running in the same cycle, while the other has built something far beyond what hard work alone could accomplish. Hard work is the engine that keeps you moving, but smart work is the steering wheel that ensures you are going in the right direction. Without direction, hard work can feel like running on a treadmill, constant movement, but no progress. A person can spend years doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different outcome, only to find themselves stuck in the same place. But when hard work is combined with intelligence, with strategy, with adaptability, then it transforms into something truly powerful. Look at history, at the people who have changed the world, who have built legacies that continue to inspire us today. Did they work hard? Absolutely. But did they work hard without strategy? Never. They were not just workers, they were thinkers, planners, innovators. They understood that effort alone was not enough. It needed to be directed, refined, and optimized. Consider an athlete training for a marathon. One athlete believes that the key to success is running as much as possible every day, exhausting themselves in the hope that their body will adapt. Another athlete, equally dedicated, follows a different approach. They train, but they also focus on their diet, their recovery, their technique. They study the science of endurance. They learn from the best. They refine their movements. They optimize their energy. On race day, one athlete is drained, struggling to keep up, while the other moves forward with precision, conserving energy where needed, pushing harder at the right moments. This is the difference between just working hard and working smart. Hard work alone can make you strong, but smart work makes you successful. Hard work makes you sweat, but smart work makes you progress. And progress is what ultimately matters. Take the example of an entrepreneur starting a new business. One approach is to work tirelessly, handling everything alone, believing that their time and effort will eventually bring success. They work day and night, sacrificing sleep, personal time, everything to keep things running. But another entrepreneur takes a different route. They work hard, yes, but they also delegate. They learn from experts. They invest in technology. They analyze what works and what doesn't. Instead of doing everything manually, they find ways to automate, to scale, to multiply their results. Years later, one is still struggling to manage everything alone, while the other has built a thriving empire. The same principle applies to every aspect of life. In relationships, in careers, in personal growth, effort is crucial, but effort without understanding can lead to frustration. A student who spends hours memorizing textbooks without understanding concepts may struggle to retain information, while another who studies with a structured plan, using techniques that enhance learning, will achieve more in less time. A person trying to get fit by randomly exercising without a plan may not see results, but someone who follows a strategic routine, understanding their body's needs, will transform faster. The world does not reward effort alone. It rewards results. And results come from combining dedication with intelligence, perseverance with planning, and effort with efficiency. It is not about how much energy you expend. It is about where you direct that energy. It is not about how many hours you put in. It is about what you accomplish in those hours. Hard work is the soil in which success grows, but smart work is the water and sunlight that allow it to flourish. A tree does not grow simply because a seed is planted. It needs the right conditions, the right nourishment, the right care. Similarly, success does not come from effort alone. It comes from making that effort count. Every great achiever, every innovator, every leader who has left a mark on the world has understood this. They have not just worked hard. They have worked with vision, with intention, with purpose. They have known when to push forward and when to step back, when to invest their time and when to seek help, when to keep going and when to change direction. They have mastered the art of turning effort into impact, of transforming struggle into success. And this is what separates those who simply work hard from those who build something extraordinary. Effort without direction is just struggle. Strategy turns effort into success. Many people believe that as long as they are putting in the effort, as long as they are constantly moving, they will eventually reach their destination. But the truth is, movement without direction is meaningless. Imagine someone lost in the desert, walking tirelessly in the scorching sun, believing that if they just keep moving, they will eventually find an escape. But without a sense of direction, without a clear plan, they might just be walking in circles, exhausting themselves without ever reaching safety. This is what happens when we mistake effort for progress. Working hard is important, but if that hard work is not aligned with a clear strategy, it can feel like running on a hamster wheel, constant motion, but no real advancement. People spend years working in jobs they don't enjoy, putting in extra hours, hoping that their dedication alone will open doors. But without learning new skills, without understanding the dynamics of growth, without positioning themselves strategically, they remain stuck. They confuse effort with progress, not realizing that it is not just about how much you do, but about what you do and how you do it. A person who wants to become a great writer may write pages and pages every day, pouring their heart into their words. But if they never study the craft, never analyze great literature, never understand the structure of storytelling, their work may not improve no matter how much they write. On the other hand, someone who dedicates time to learning, who practices with purpose, who seeks feedback and applies it, will grow far more in a shorter span of time. Both are putting in effort, but only one is turning effort into success through strategy. The same applies to business. Many entrepreneurs believe that working long hours, handling every little detail themselves, and sacrificing everything will lead to success. They think that staying busy means they are making progress. But busyness is not the same as effectiveness. A business owner who works endlessly without a plan might struggle for years, while another who studies market trends, builds a network, automates processes, and focuses on high-impact tasks will achieve success much faster. It is not just about how much you work, it is about how intelligently you direct that work. Consider an athlete training for a championship. One athlete might train for hours every day without a structured plan, believing that the sheer amount of time spent practicing will lead to improvement. But another athlete with the same dedication follows a science-backed training program. They focus on technique, track their progress, analyze their weaknesses, and optimize their recovery. On the day of the competition, the first athlete might feel exhausted and unprepared despite all their effort, while the second athlete with a strategy in place is able to perform at their best. Effort without strategy leads to burnout, frustration, and the feeling of being stuck. It is like paddling a boat with all your strength but in the wrong direction. No matter how fast you row, you will never reach your desired shore unless you align your efforts with a clear path. So many people struggle in life not because they are not trying hard enough, but because they are not trying smart enough. They believe that struggle is proof of progress, when in reality, progress comes from working strategically, not just tirelessly. Look at the greatest minds, the most successful individuals, the people who have built legacies. They did not just work hard, they work with precision. They had a vision, a clear understanding of their goals, and they took deliberate steps to achieve them. They did not waste energy on things that did not contribute to their growth. They understood that working without direction is like trying to fill a leaking bucket. No matter how much effort you put in, the results will always fall short. Imagine a student preparing for exam. One student might spend endless hours reading textbooks, highlighting every sentence, staying up all night in an attempt to cover everything. But another student takes a different approach. They analyze past papers, identify key concepts, focus on understanding rather than memorization, and follow a structured study plan. Both students are putting in effort, but only one is doing so with a clear strategy. And when the results come, the difference is evident. Effort alone does not guarantee success. It is the combination of effort and strategy that creates breakthroughs. So many people give up on their dreams, not because they were unwilling to work hard, but because they worked hard in the wrong way. They kept doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results, without realizing that success is not just about persistence. It is about adaptability. If something is not working, change the approach. If progress is slow, analyze what needs to be improved. The world is filled with stories of people who spent years struggling, only to realize later that a small shift in strategy could have changed everything. There are artists who kept creating without studying the market, professionals who kept working without upgrading their skills, and athletes who kept training without adjusting their techniques. They all had the same realization that no matter how much effort they put in, without direction it was just struggle, not progress. Effort must be aligned with wisdom. Hard work must be guided by strategy, because in the end it is not just about how much you do, it is about whether what you are doing is truly moving you forward. Hard work is running tirelessly. Smart work is choosing the right path. Many people believe that the more they do, the more they achieve. They wake up every day, pushing themselves beyond their limits, believing that if they just keep going, success will eventually come. But not all movement leads to progress. Running without a destination will only leave you exhausted, not ahead. Imagine a person determined to climb a mountain. They start climbing without a map, without any understanding of the terrain, just driven by sheer willpower. They struggle, slipping, falling, losing their way, but they refuse to stop. They believe that as long as they keep climbing, they will eventually reach the top. But another person, equally determined, takes a different approach. They study the mountain, understand the routes, find the best path, and prepare accordingly. While the first person exhausts themselves, the second moves forward with clarity, conserving their energy, making every step count. This is the difference between hard work and smart work. Hard work is valuable, but without the right direction, it can lead to unnecessary struggle. Many people spend years working hard, dedicating their lives to a job, a goal, or a dream. But they never stop to ask, am I moving forward or am I just moving? It is not the number of hours that determines success. It is the quality of those hours. A person working 12 hours a day without improving their skills, without adapting to change, without learning new strategies, may stay stuck in the same position for years. Another person, working half that time, but focusing on the right things, upgrading their knowledge, and seizing the right opportunities, will progress faster. Hard work alone does not guarantee results. It is the combination of effort and direction that leads to true success. Think about a student who wants to pass an important exam. One student studies for hours, reading every page, memorizing every word, but without understanding the core concepts. They believe that the more they study, the better they will perform. Another student studies strategically, focusing on the most important topics, practicing questions, identifying patterns in previous exams. When the results come, the first student, despite their long hours, may struggle, while the second, with the focused approach, performs exceptionally well. Both worked hard, but only one worked smart. The same applies to business. A person running a business might believe that working long hours, handling every little detail personally, and never taking a break is the only way to succeed. They sacrifice sleep, personal time, and everything else, thinking that their dedication will eventually pay off. But another entrepreneur understands that growth comes from efficiency, not just effort. They delegate tasks, use technology, build systems that allow them to scale. Instead of working harder, they work smarter, achieving more in less time. Effort is important, but it must be directed towards the right actions. Many people spend years grinding, believing that persistence alone will lead to breakthroughs. They keep doing the same things, expecting different results, without realizing that success is not just about pushing harder. It is about knowing where to push. A person can dig for gold in the wrong place for years and find nothing, while another with the right knowledge can strike gold in a matter of days. Think about a person trying to build a strong body. One person goes to the gym every day, lifting weights randomly, spending hours on exercises without a plan. Another follows a structured workout program, focusing on the right techniques, balancing their diet, allowing proper recovery. While the first person may see slow or no results despite their effort, the second person transforms efficiently. Both are working hard, but only one is working in the right way. The world is full of people who work hard but remain stuck in the same place. They believe that if they just keep going, one day things will change. But success does not come from movement alone. It comes from moving in the right direction. If someone is lost in a forest, running faster does not help. Stopping, observing, finding the right path, and then moving forward is what makes the difference. People often glorify struggle, believing that the harder the journey, the more valuable the outcome. But struggle without strategy is just wasted energy. A person might take the longest, hardest route to a destination when a shorter, more effective route exists. They might keep reinventing the wheel instead of learning from those who have already succeeded. They might keep fighting battles that could have been avoided with a little planning. Many people get trapped in the cycle of hard work without reflection. They focus on doing more rather than doing better. They mistake exhaustion for achievement, busyness for productivity. But true success is about working on the things that truly matter, in the ways that truly make a difference. A farmer who tills the land endlessly without planting the right seeds will never see a harvest. A writer who writes thousands of words without structure will never create a masterpiece. A leader who works day and night without a vision will never build a lasting impact. The most successful people in the world are not just the ones who work the hardest, but the ones who work the smartest. They understand that time is limited, energy is finite, and effort must be directed toward what truly moves the needle. They do not just push forward blindly. They pause, they analyze, they choose the best path, and then they give it their all. They do not waste years struggling when a better way exists. They do not believe in movement for the sake of movement. They believe in progress. Life rewards results, not just effort. Work with wisdom, not just willpower. Many people believe that as long as they keep trying, as long as they give their all, success will come knocking at their door. They put in long hours, sacrifice sleep, and push themselves beyond limits, thinking that effort alone is the ultimate key to achievement. But the truth is, life does not reward effort alone. It rewards results. It does not matter how much sweat and struggle you put in if what you are doing is not effective. Imagine a person trying to fill a leaking bucket. They keep pouring water in, believing that if they just pour faster, the bucket will eventually fill. But no matter how much water they pour, the bucket never overflows. The water keeps escaping through the cracks. Another person, instead of working harder, takes a different approach. They pause, identify the leaks, fix them, and then fill the bucket. Their effort is less, but their result is greater. This is how life works. Hard work is important, but if it is not producing the right results, then it becomes wasted energy. Many people live their entire lives working hard, but never reaching where they want to be. They keep moving, keep struggling, but they do not stop to ask, am I actually getting closer to my goal? I'm closer to my goal. They measure their success by the amount of effort they put in, not by the outcome they achieve. But effort without outcome is like running on a treadmill. No matter how fast you go, you stay in the same place. Think about a salesperson who knocks on 100 doors every day, believing that persistence alone will bring them success. They repeat the same pitch, face rejection after rejection, and wonder why they are not seeing better results. Another salesperson, equally determined, studies human psychology, learns negotiation skills, and refines their approach. Instead of knocking on every door blindly, they identify potential customers, understand their needs, and tailor their message accordingly. They may knock on fewer doors, but their results are far greater. The world does not pay you for how much you try, it pays you for how much you achieve. A student who spends 10 hours studying the wrong material may feel accomplished, but if they fail the exam, their effort holds no value. Another student who studies strategically for just 3 hours, focusing on what truly matters, might pass with flying colors. Both worked, but only one worked in a way that brought results. Life is not about proving how hard you work. It is about making your hard work count. There are people who stay in the same job for decades, working tirelessly but never progressing. They assume that loyalty and years of effort will eventually be recognized. But another person, instead of just working harder, learns new skills, adapts to changes, and positions themselves for growth. They do not just work more, they work better. And because they focus on results, they move forward, while others remain stuck. Athletes understand this concept deeply. A runner who simply runs more every day without focusing on technique, recovery, or nutrition may struggle to improve. But an athlete who trains intelligently, who optimizes their workouts, who rests at the right time, and strengthens the right muscles will see dramatic improvements. Both are putting in effort, but only one is turning that effort into measurable success. In business, there are countless examples of people who work endlessly but see little progress. A small business owner might handle everything personally, from accounting to marketing to customer service, believing that their effort will one day pay off. They work from morning till night but struggle to grow. Another business owner, instead of trying to do everything alone, builds a strong team, automates processes, and focuses only on high-impact decisions. Their effort may seem less, but their results are far greater. Effort alone does not create success. Effective effort does. Many people believe that struggle is proof of progress. They think that if they are exhausted at the end of the day, they must be doing something right. But exhaustion without achievement is meaningless. There are people who spend years trying to build something but never succeed, not because they lack dedication, but because they lack direction. They are climbing a ladder without realizing it is leaning against the wrong wall. People often say, never give up, but the real wisdom is knowing what to never give up on. If something is not working, simply trying harder is not always the solution. Sometimes the answer lies in changing the strategy, in reassessing the approach, in working with wisdom instead of just willpower. A person can try to break down a wall with their bare hands for years, or they can step back, find a door, and walk through it. Many people confuse being busy with being productive. They believe that the more tasks they complete, the more successful they will be. But success does not come from doing more. It comes from doing what matters. A writer can type 1,000 words a day, but if those words have no structure, no meaning, no impact, then they are just filling pages, not writing a masterpiece. A leader can hold endless meetings, but if those meetings do not drive action, they are just consuming time, not creating progress. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who work the right hours. They are the ones who work the right hours. They know when to push and when to pause. They know when to put in effort and when to step back and think. They do not just grind endlessly. They optimize. They strategize. They focus on results rather than just the process. There are countless people who have spent